a little deep, bitch.
It is. Thank you.
Yeah.
Tuia I runga, tuia I raro, tuia I roto, tuia I waho, tuia te here tangata, ka rongo te pō, ka rongo te ao, haumie, huie, tai kie. Tēnā koutou katoa. No Ingarangi, me Airangi o Kutupuna, I tipu ake ahau ki Ingarangi, I noho ana ahau ki Te Whanganui Atara, I mihi ana ahau ki ngā tangata whenua o tēnei rohe, ara ko Te Aotearoa me Ngāti Toa. He kai whakahaere ho taka tūmata nui ahau ki Te Papatonga Rewa, ko Rachel Fox ahau, nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Te Papa for the very first of our grand Kiki House of Marama ball events. A deep dive into the history of ballroom culture here in Aotearoa. We will introduce our absolutely incredible panel shortly, but as some of our guests have just arrived from overseas, I wanted to take a moment to explain how I opened our space and what I said. So I began with karakia, tuia I rongo, which talks about stitching or uniting people together, something that ballroom culture does. It unites. And then I introduced myself. So my name is Rachel Fox, and I'm the Public Programming Manager here at the museum. My ancestors are from England and Ireland, and I grew up in England, but I now live here in Wellington, Te Whanganui Atara. I also acknowledge the iwi of this area, Te Aotearoa and Ngāti Toa. Now, before we jump into the good stuff, unfortunately, I'm here for the boring housekeeping. The wharipaku are at the back of the room, to your right, my left. In the case of an earthquake, we drop, cover, hold, and then await the instructions of our host team. And if the fire alarm goes off, we'll all take the fire exit, which is just over there, and wait at the front of Te Papa by Circa Theatre. And if anything else unexpected happens, just follow the hosts, because they know what to do. And now all the boring stuff is done. I'm so pleased and excited to welcome your facilitator for this evening. Hailing from the Kingdom of Taonga, he is an actor, writer, producer. He creates work that centres the experiences, wit, nuance, and universality of Pacific peoples. A graduate of Toi Whakaari, he has worked with numerous arts organisations, including Black Grace, Auckland Theatre Company, and now Ova Collective. So let's give a big, warm paki to our facilitator, Kasi Marama.
Oh my gosh. Test. 1, 2, 3. Is my mic on? Hello. Talo falava, kia ora na tātou katoa toa. Let's wake up the room a bit. So we just need your hands and just do it like this. Mili, mai, patia, no pati. Hey,
Oh.
you Ara?
Okay.
Who said that? It's such a privilege to be joined by an awesome panel. So I'll briefly just introduce our first guest. We have Rome Marama, mahaham, give it a round of applause. mahaham, who has been such a massive advocate and, what's a fancy word? Gear changer.
Ooh.
Cultural architect, all those things in Te Whanganui Atara. So would love to welcome you into the space. Any words for our serious audience sitting out there tonight?
Just make noise when we're talking as well, have fun. But yes, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for coming, and enjoy the night.
Yes. And over to the right, we have Miss Legendary JC.
Shut up.
And you already know, Iman, we said no aerosols, no flammables, but they're going to come and do all the liquids, all the productions, girl. So any words, 3 words for our community out there and on the live stream?
be nice on the live, girls. Yeah, really just have a good time, have a good laugh, and enjoy Ballroom together.
Yes. And so if you have a question at the end of the panel, you'll have to scream because Karamira's really deaf in the right ear. Who said that? So we also have co-founder, co-director, co-collective, co-everything, also mother of Te Whare Marama, Karamira. Hailing from the naughty, naughty north, Kaikohe. Anyone from Kaikohe tonight? That's what I thought.
Oh.
So, any words, darlings? Anyone for any naughty northers tuning in? What do you have to say to them, babe?
No words, just world peace.
Period. And so we had this amazing entrance to introduce our international guests, you know, Jennifer Hudson and how they have that thing. So we'll introduce our next guest like this. Arturo Mulan, that's an icon. Arturo Mulan, that's an icon. Hey, Arturo Mulan, that's an icon. Round of applause. Now, girl, on behalf of the USA, what do you have to say for everyone in Aotearoa?
Bring a coat next time.
It's cold out here. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
The fashion killer themselves. Miss Marcus. Round of applause. Now, we were talking about the weather, and you were saying that it's really cold out in Paris. And what is Te Whanganui Atara giving? Are we warm-hearted people? Are we cold? Are we shivery boots?
Yeah, very sweet people, I would say.
Awesome. Round of applause for our panel. Now, we'll just kick it off, and I'm so curious to ask, I would love to know, do you remember your first ball, and also, do you remember your first GP and what was it giving? Was it a kata? Was it a kangi? Was it inspirational? Let's start off with our girl over here.
Very first ball. So my first ball was exactly 5 years ago at the House of Aotearoa that they held in 2020 on Civic Square. That was my very, very first ball. Had absolutely no idea what I was doing. Had attended the workshops prior to that, and actually had JC sending me quick little notes of don't do this, don't do that, pull up like this. And then in terms of my very first GP, it was at the House of Alexander Ball in Magangin, Brisbane, so-called Australia, for Virgin Vogue and Runway. So I won 2 GPs that night. And they were my first.
Cute. And my sissy JC, I remember you at the Aitu Ball back then because I also walked and I got 3 chops. Now that must be a record. You know, when you came down for that ball, I guess it was quite a big moment for Wellington. What was running through your mind, you know, having been one of the OGs and one of our whawhinge that has carried Aotearoa Ballroom to what it is today?
Thank you for the question.
No worries.
I mean, it's beautiful. I think when we look at queer Pacific people in Aotearoa, we are still fighting for our rights, not just as queer people, but as brown people. Yeah. And so to have agency over what the hell we're doing, and then to have support, like the support that you guys are having with Te Papa, is the reason why we see so many kids today. And then I think the resilience comes from femme queens in our community, some of our older generation that I would like to say names out loud, like Tanu Ngango, Pati Tai Rao, Fastwag Arts Collective, Mistress. These are the kind of pillars that allowed us to be free and consistent and a bigger community to now where Pati hosted the first ball in Wellington. Yeah. And then coming here, straight away, we saw kind of a bit of turnout. You won that day, eh? And my first thought was not to snatch the girls, was to encourage them to create something here for themselves. And here we are today with Aotearoa and Machus. And so this is the future of your labor, and this is the future of my labor as a trailblazer in Aotearoa. And you guys are here to carry that legacy on in Wellington, Pōneke. So that's kind of the fruits of that we can see as all of ourselves here in this room today.
Yeah, I love that. I love that term, fruits of, your labor. And if they're ripe fruit, am I like a rotten banana?
We would never say that you're rotten, darling.
Thank you. Machus, would love to know, what was your first experience in ballroom, and do you remember your first GP or an early memory?
Yeah, the first time I walked in a ball, it was in 2011 in Paris. I was a bit scared in the beginning because, the first time I saw a ball, it was 2010. And then my mother said, I have to go to the ball first, see what happened to know who's the next bitch you're going to beat at the next function. So I was like, okay, because the first one I wanted to walk, but she said, no, even if you know the rules and everything, you need to attend the ball, and then you will know what happened, how to get your turns and everything. And then the year after, I came out for the first ball, and I went home with 2 GPs. So I was like very happy about it. But yeah, my first experience was I was so excited because where I grew up, it was like very, the hood, let's say that. And I was not feeling like alone, but I was feeling very different, let's say that. And when I saw Ballroom, I was like, oh, there's many like me. I feel like home, so I was like so excited. Yeah. About Ballroom, yeah. So I have like only good memories for my first ball.
Period. And Aotearoa, what was the most fun memory of your first ball, and I guess also a memory from your first GP?
You want me to remember that far back?
So long ago, right?
My first ball was in 1997. It was the House of Revlon ball. It was fun because it was my first, and it was so many people. There was like really, really, really packed. I was in the House of Infinity back then, and there was so many people. It was Vogue family. It was 4 at a time.
Wow.
So 4 at a time for back then was a lot of people because Ballroom wasn't as many people as it is now. So it was a lot of people walking. So that was fun for me. And I don't remember my first grand prize. I honestly don't.
Too many. Clock it. Backstage, JC and I were talking about the kind of crossover between, our indigenous cultures and what ballroom does for us to feel more visible in society. Would love to know, from whatever perspective you take the question, is like, what has ballroom done for you in regards to visibility? Has it helped you kind of enroot yourself deeper into a part that you would never thought that you would have connected with, or has it completely done a 360, landed and dipped?
No pun intended.
Cam?
Me. Ballroom and visibility. I think ballroom at its root is all about the need for visibility in some aspect, but not to the point where you're kind of asking or begging for the visibility. This is just, for us, visibility is our everyday. It's everything that we wake up to and choose to take on in this world. So being in ballroom for me has really, what you said, like helped me to reinvent myself in any way that I want. Because we're all just not one masks, like we're so many things. So I think alongside the fact that in ballroom you get to, I guess, take control of your own narrative and how you portray yourself to the world, how the world receives that too is not my responsibility. If you get pissed off by the way I do things, I'm just like channeling. If you're feeling some type of way because of the way I'm performing or behaving on the floor, that's me expressing myself in the anger in the most healthy way that I can possibly. Because we could all just go and knock somebody out, but that wouldn't be the case. And so Ballroom for me is just that safe vehicle for us to express ourselves without having to get that far with it. So yeah, I don't know if that actually helps with
Period. Oh, she said she throws hands.
Well, you never know.
So if you're not voguing, you're beating people up. Okay.
Gotcha.
Oh, I love that, Boo. Machus, like what is, I guess, ballroom and visibility in the Paris ballroom scene been like? Is there, has it just kind of skyrocketed, or was it always a slow, steady build?
In Paris, I would say it was like kind of slow, because in the beginning it was maybe 25, 30%, included the workers, so it was not that many in the beginning, and then it was like people talking with each other, then it was growing slowly, getting now very big. And for me, it was very important to show myself in ballroom, because there was no big people to me, and I was like, why everybody is skinny? This is the first question I asked at the ball. I said, why everybody is skinny? What happened? They said, like, okay, so yeah, then you have to work and show yourself, like, to represent for the big girls. And that's what I did. It was very important to me, so yeah.
Make some noise for the big girls.
That's right.
Yeah, I just kind of felt my fupa, my stomach kind of conclave while you said that. Thank you. Romei, visibility of ballroom in Pōneke, where we are right now, over the past 5 years, what's excited you most about the scene here?
I think just the constant growth, and going back to the very first time at the Aitu ball and just walking into that space and going, what the fuck, there's so many people that look like me, are crazy, are weird, are being stupid, are dressing up, which was something that I never saw. And I think growing up in a very small town, shout out to the country boys, so living, every day I would wake up and look at sheep and cows, and to then come down and actually see everyone sort of dressing up and doing everything.
And wearing the sheep and cows.
And sheep and cows. Exactly. That to be in that space and to feel you're like 100% cunt and fully just owning that.
Yeah.
And then walking away and then being able to provide these spaces, balls, functions, Vogue nights, and for anyone to walk out of that space having that exact same feeling is something that excites me every single time.
Yeah.
That as long as I'm in that space and one person in that space can walk away feeling their 100%, being able to go, actually I can walk out there and not give a fuck what anyone's saying.
Yeah.
That's what excites me. And then we get to see that on the floor when they come out and leave it on the floor. So yeah.
Empowerment, I love it. I felt quite disempowered after that first ball, but it was great. Let your nose be a yes one day. JC, I would love to talk more about, what we were chatting about, the dynamics and, how you've navigated the term whawhawhinge and what it's done for you as a Samoan ballroom culture.
As a whawhawhinge of Samoa, which is our indigenous term, I think as confusing as it is in today's world of all this terminology in rainbow culture, I don't reside there because I have refuge in my own culture as specific. And so before being a femme queen in ballroom, I was reclaiming the idea of being a whawhawhinge, which was used as a derogatory term against me. And it wasn't until I was liberated in ballroom as a femme queen and not necessarily identifying as a trans woman just because of medical terms, actually identifying with something that's as close to me was being a femme queen. And then in relation to whawhawhinges, who also can be femme queens or trans women of our culture, so much similarity, but not enough space for us as Samoan whawhawhinges. And as well as MVP FAF, so Cook Islands Akavaine, Tongans, Leithis. And so there's not much space for us, but we are here. And we take up space if space allowed us. But because Ballroom is such a great example of cultivating space for our community, and then to allow us to be creative and uplifted, and then bring a sense of community together, it has thrived really well here, being immersed with Pacific MVP FAF community members. Like, where are the POC queer girls that are going to wake it up in Aotearoa? The closest to Black culture here is the Pacific. And so as we honor your culture in Ballroom, we honor it by pulling up, learning as much of the education as possible, and really trying to emulate what a femme queen means to us in our culture. And so as you can see, this is what a femme queen of Samoan descent looks like. Samoan femme queens have entered the Ballroom chats. And we are so immensely grateful for this culture because it has given us visibility. And when I think about visibility, especially for us as Pacific here in Aotearoa, it can be dangerous to be visible. But if we are together, we are unstoppable. And that's the beauty about Ballroom and Chosen Family, is that the togetherness of intergenerations, because we've got older girls with our younger girls. I'm 31, I have a 19-year-old daughter. That's a privilege that a lot of queer people don't have that Ballroom offers us. And so that pass down of security, survival, life skills helps our girls navigate visibility even when it's dangerous. And something in my career that I have poured into Ballroom is how widespread can I be at the roots of telling our stories. And so one of the things that I'm really proud to put our community on in a visible way is on television. I think that was like being on Shortland Street, which is the longest national soap in Aotearoa, and they go, hey girls, edit the script, come turn it out in 3 episodes, which we did, would have never happened like 10 years ago. And here we are flicking our wrists in a fishnet on Shortland Street because we can.
For Dr. Chris Warner.
For Dr. Chris Warner, darling. But yeah, so that's just a little bit of what my talent was.
Yeah, I love that. And just on that note, like I'd love to hear from everyone about the intersectionality of Ballroom and how it's really become something that's heavily globalized. Like, where has that taken you in your career that surprised you, Achura, if anything? Was there a project or anything that you were like, holy shit, Ballroom's brought me here?
Well, for one is the musical that I'm choreographing, Cats on Broadway.
Everyone say meow.
I would say that, and choreographing for like music artists, because they don't want just dance, they want ballroom, and they want Vogue. So being in those spaces, I still am like, oh my God, I'm here. Even though I've been doing it forever, it's just a shock that, I'm still working and still credible, and people want us and want me to still work for them and with them.
Yeah.
So yeah. And being here.
And are you taking auditions for cats? Stray cats?
I mean,
Stray cats?
there might be some coming up.
Oh, great. Great. Well, meow, purr. Machus. Just the glasses itself. Like, you just had an amazing story behind the glasses. I didn't even want to ask about, the polka dots going on. It's like, tell us about, where Ballroom has taken you and where you're like, holy, I'm that bitch. And you've pulled up to a space and Ballroom has, really empowered you or, offered like a breaking ground for new opportunities where Ballroom hasn't existed, perhaps.
Can you say that again?
Your favorite amazing new project for being a bad bitch in Ballroom?
My favorite project?
Yeah.
That's a hard question. I would say maybe judging the Olympic Games, because they had like at the Olympics.
Oh! Yes, that was fab.
And I was one of the judges, because for me it was like crazy. I was so shocked. I was so, not scared, but when I stepped into the floor, I gagged. Because I was like, bitch, this is fucking Olympics. Everybody's gonna watch us. And it was so big for me to be on the panel tonight. Shout out to Vinny, by the way, because Vinny Revlon organized all of these. And it was like a big, big thing, like to be with everybody on the floor. Yeah. Big trophy, everybody discover Ballroom. Sometimes people hate, people like, but it was so many people. And just behind the Eiffel Tower in the back, so it was like perfect. I would say that.
Hello, round of applause, the Olympics. We all love that little Last Supper image. Yes, we did. How controversial. I would love to talk about, theatre and storytelling and what you've done, JC, along with Romy and Karamera, and how you've integrated Ballroom into those spaces. Tell us about Ova Ova. Tell us about it, girl. How was that?
Ova was cool. So when I moved to Sydney, it was Mardi Gras at the time, and I wanted to do a project where I got to work with the community. I'm a community-based artist. I think there's so much gems in the community, just not enough opportunity. And so I'm that girl that's like, I know who the girls are. You just don't do your visibility with the community. Anyway, so I found all these girls in Ballroom, such as Kelia, Jamaica, Eliam, all these girls that are OG Australian Ballroom community. And I had done a show over with the community, and that was kind of my way of like, hey girls, this is what I can do. I'm about to live here. Let's wake it up. And I think it's so important to practice the art form of storytelling. Not only do we do that on the floor and encourage that to be creative, to be storytellers, but it's so important to keep storytelling off the floor. And I think it's so important to write yourself in your legacy, whether it's within your family, whether it's in community, whether it's in a different career field. It's so important to tell your story and to not be unwritten. I think as being queer Samoan, it's like the idea of reclaiming our stories and our existence. And so theater to me, it just makes sense. And then the only, my taste of theater is either theater about women or theater about faggots. Like, those are my favorite theaters.
What did you call me?
So I love queer theater, I love femme and female theater. And so it just makes sense that I would bring Ballroom with me because a lot of us fulfill the fantasy in a shade.
Yeah. Period. And Arafata, tell us a little bit about Arafata.
So Arafata was basically, it was an opening show for Fringe Festival in 2023. So that had been 3 years that we had been part of Ballroom, and it was an idea that Karamera and I had held on for those 3 years of wanting to create or produce a show that integrated what it looked like to be queer, what it looked like to be Māori, and what it looked like to partake in the culture of Ballroom, and what a show could look like with blending those together. So Arafata was a 15-person show at the time, 1 hour long, that sort of showcased everyone's story within the cast, whether you whakapapa back to Samoa, Tonga, the Philippines, Burma, or Aotearoa, and it was a way of how us as queer people share such similarities through the struggles and hurt that we go through, no matter where we are in the world. But here in Aotearoa, we found a way where that sort of blurred line met. And that was Arafata, which was the direct translation to bridging, so how we can bridge these different worlds together. So when we were approached by Fringe, shout out to Vanessa, she originally wanted us, or the vision was to hold a ball, but we felt that it was important at that time to share our story, which 4 weeks later became Arafata. And it was an offering for our children in the house, but also other queer creatives within Pōneke to be able to share their artistry and offer their stories as well. Is there anything you wanted to?
I think at first for us it was like, oh, okay, let's see how we can mildify ballroom for us so that we can see ourselves in it. But through the process of building Arafata and the show, it wasn't just us two being the main head. We allowed our cast members to offer their stories, and then at some point, the kōrero about intersectionality really took hold. There were several rehearsals where we would, I guess, dissect a lot of our stories and then be like, cool, how can we perform this in a way that's fab, but also very touching and pulls on the heartstrings of people to think deeper about the glitz and glams of like being queer.
Yeah, my heartstrings were pulled, and then when Sex Siren came on, my G-string was pulled. I was like,
Oh, yeah, the G-string.
would love to know, it's come up a lot, and I think it's important for, people who are going to be attending on Saturday who may not be familiar with what ballroom is like, let's talk about chosen family and what a house, essentially means to you. We'll start off and we'll just go down the line with Machus first.
For me, your house, to me, is like your chosen family, but it could be your gang when it's time to fight. It could be many things. It's like if something happened, there is your house in the back. That's for me, that's what it means. Like when you choose your house, you need to choose who you're gonna fight with, because ballroom is about competition. But it's also like the people that you're gonna choose, like to exchange experiences of life. You're sharing like a lot of time with your house, so it could be many things. But I think it's like, on top of that, it's absolutely beautiful to have like a house. It's a wonderful thing to me. Say that.
Period. Achiros?
What's the question again?
What is a house to you, and what is chosen family?
My juice is talking down. What is a house to me, and what is a chosen family to me? I mean, a chosen family is a family that you choose, and a house is also a family that you choose to be in. Like my juice said, it could be many different things. I think as you're in them, you start to see different sides or different things in the house that you didn't think about as you were joining in. Because I was thinking to myself yesterday or today about houses and how they become businesses. So I think it's what you want to take from it. You can come into a house because you want to make friends. You can come into a house because you're new in town and you need someone to hang out with. You can come into the house because you know these girls got my back, like my shoe said, it could be a gang. It can be many different things that why you want to come into ballroom. I just think you need to be on the outside and look in first to find the group of people that you want to associate yourself with.
Yeah, we're taking notes. Period. Cam?
Yeah, a house to me is everybody who you love, holding it down for you, but also platforming and uplifting you too. I think it's important that we not get used to doing everything ourselves, even though that's kind of something we've been conditioned to do. So I believe a house to me is people that you can lean on in the hardest times and in the best times too. And then I guess in ballroom, a house to me is people who are there for each other, especially at the ballroom functions. People who are screaming your name for you. People who are running around and finding your eyelashes for you or strapping on your heels and not letting you.
We can name
run
names.
by yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it is.
I love. JC?
I mean, a house is not a house if you don't have a femme queen. Let's start there. I think, I think chosen families are about a form of refuge. I think, most of us already know some of our queer community don't have a sense of love in their families that they are born into. And so we are here as chosen families to give refuge to each other, even to heal some of our own trauma as mothers. And so I think there's an exchange of love that was missing, guidance that wasn't around or accessible to us. Yeah, and I think houses, it's crucial that everyone in there is offering something to femme queens. Like, I think femme queens are ballroom, and if your house ain't invested in the girls like that, then no shade, I don't want to see it. That's my vibe.
Put your hands together for Femme Queens. Always, always. And Marama, besides people, I guess, you screaming my name for, you know, breaking things at your whare, what has Chosen Family meant for you in the past 5 years?
It's sort of already been touched on in regards to like refuge and a space for our kids to basically exist where they feel that they can't outside of our walls. Chosen Family for me is a space where they get to come and just, basically do and live and sort of get advice and have role models around them that they don't get to have every day. They don't get to see that back home. They don't have that with their cis straight friends. It's a space for them to be able to come and just share. It's a space for them to just come in and just do nothing. Chosen Family for me is those that are going to pull up for you in and out of ballroom, whether it's at work, whether it's on the streets, whether it's at university, school, whatever it may be, that we always have someone that's going to pull up for us, no matter what. Whether it's a midnight call saying, hey, I need somewhere to stay. Look, girl, there's a couch there, get on the couch. That to me is Chosen Family. If I have the resources and the space to be able to provide that, then of course I'm not here to just hold on to that for myself. That is for everyone. In terms of a house, again, it's the same of how we can pull up as a house to the functions. At the trainings, we can call each other out, hold each other accountable. And I think that's a huge thing as well, that a lot of people are scared to hold each other accountable, but once you're in a house, girl, you're getting called out. Accountability. So yeah, that for me would be sort of what a house and Chosen Family means to me.
Yeah, turn to the person next to you and say, I'm going to pull up for you.
I'm pulling up. Well, you flew me here, girl. Pull up.
I'm going to pull up.
You flew me here.
I'm going to see you outside. In the corner. With a pack of Sucks. And some Coca-Cola or something.
I pulled up.
No, I want you to like whisper into the person's ear and say, oi, what's the tea? What's the tea? What's the tea? We're about to get the tea. I have a question on here that says, what are your big no's in ballroom? Kaore, leai, ikai, no, in all the languages. We'll start over here, babe.
For me, don't take it off the floor. Honestly, like, you got something to say, bring it to the floor. But also allow the girls to girl, and that if they need to say what they need to say, let them say it. There's no need to get involved. There's no need to speak on things that's not for you to speak on.
Take the chop gracefully, especially if it's fair. This is a fair panel that's coming this weekend, just no shady business. But usually, if it's a beautiful panel that's fair across the board, because we know we've had some situations with these chops in the past.
It's really hard getting a chop, sissy.
But if you get a chop, please take it gracefully. It is a lesson of love, and in this culture, that's tough love, because you think that you did enough research to come here and walk in front of us for this culture that's existed for longer than 10 years. That chop goes, no, girl, you didn't get it correct, and that's okay. You come harder next time, and you earn your 10 and your GP. Take it gracefully. It's not shade. It's only love. Yes? Respecting the culture is by respecting the chop. That's my number one.
Respect the chop. Just as my dad said, you know, beat me up. Say, I do this because I love you, babes.
But again, most of the judges are open to feedback. So no need to run online and say, da-da-da, you chop me, hate your ass, whatever. You can ask for feedback, and they will be given clean and clear, no shade.
Ah, Lord.
If I was a judge, I'll give you your feedback for your 3 chops. But I wasn't a judge, so you can find those.
It was only 5 years ago. Okay. Cam, what are your nerves?
My big no's, stop trying to change the rules. Especially in the context of us introducing space for non-binary folks. You do not need to touch the Femme Queen title. You don't need to touch the trans title, especially in a ballroom-specific space where it is built for Femme Queens. It is their space first before it is yours or ours. We are at a point now where the term non-binary and gender non-conforming people are coming in because it is a normal part of society now. But that doesn't mean that everything needs to change immediately, and it's not your right to tell a femme queen what to do and how to hold them in that space. There is opportunity for that conversation, but I think a lot of what's going on lately is that need to voice and need to build space for themselves when the house is not theirs. And so I think, yeah, that's my big no, is just knowing your place and not changing the rules just because you're feeling some type of way.
Okay, Nicki Minaj.
Yes.
Period. Are you a Nicki fan?
No.
No, okay.
Did she say no?
Akira Mulan, that's an icon. What iconic no's do you have to let everybody know at home? That is a big no-no.
I hate an ugly catwalk. Ugly catwalk is a no to me. Mm-hmm. Speaking of ugly catwalks, come to class tomorrow.
Yes.
I think no social media is a big no. And social media takes away all the elements of surprise that Ballroom once had. There's no more mystery. Everyone posts everything. They debut on Facebook. They announce their members before the ball even come. So when it's time for the ball to come, it's like, oh girl, we didn't know she'd come out. There's no hype. There's no mystery. So social media with Ballroom can be a big no. It can help it, but it's a big no sometimes. Also, I don't know, there's a lot of no's. Matches, what you got?
Me, I would say physical violence. I think it's too bad. In this actual world, it's too bad, and especially in Ballroom, it's too bad. So that's my big no. And we had like the chance to have Ballroom to kind of fight on categories or at the ball. You can do that. So I really encourage like everybody who have like beef or whatever, keep your ends to do ends performance.
Yeah.
Just come to the floor and then, storm the girl or do you. There's always a way to fight on the floor, but outside I really hate that.
Yeah.
For me, it's so disgusting.
Yeah.
So that's my big no.
And what gets you up on your feet and just living for the girls when they hit the stage? What is that one thing where you're like, period? Here's your tens.
Something you live for?
Sorry?
Something you live for.
On the floor.
When the girls come out.
Yeah, when they come on the floor.
I would say when she won it, I don't know, because sometimes there was a ball, there was a bitch that came out, she's walking and she's gonna walk all over the floor just feeling like, yeah, I'm that bitch. She's just walking around, and that bitch she about to carry. I'll live for that. Even if sometimes it could be a chop, but I'll live for that. The audacity that you need to come to the floor like, I'm that bitch.
Audacity.
I love it. Confidence. It's so fab to me. I love it.
Yeah. Audacity, not caucasity.
Exactly.
Period. Miss Achuro, what is a big yes for you?
Oh.
A good catwalk.
That part.
Yo.
I love a good production.
Yeah.
I love a good production. What else? I don't know.
Yeah.
Productions.
Period.
Yeah, production.
Yeah.
Honey.
Mine will always be a current effect. I think if you're coming out and performing, you need to show your best self. So yeah, always gets me up as a current effect.
I'm gonna bag a pack. Yeah, I'm current effect, but like taking the theme and giving us the ballroom version of that, where it tells pop culture that this is the future. I love seeing the future of fashion and ballroom. And then I love seeing young femme queens that we've never seen before and come up and cultivate space and eat it. Whether they win or not, like I just love to see young femme queens come out. More femme queens, please. Long live the femme queens.
Period. Long live the femme queen.
The film queen's gonna need something. They're gonna need their own space. It's just take it over.
I think for me, it's just coming fully correct, and from the confidence to the full effect, down to your toes, to your fingernails, to everything, that this is your moment, and showing everyone. Coming correct, showing that you've been doing the work, you've been doing the homework, you're doing your research, and you can see that when they're walking. You can clearly see that they've been in the studio, and you can clearly see who hasn't. Yeah, that would be me.
And who hasn't been in the studio, mother?
You.
Now I'm going to demonstrate a chop catwalk. Before we hand it over to our audience to ask some questions, on Saturday, it's quite a landmark event, not just for Te Papa, but for Te Whanganui, Atara, Aotearoa, and our region here in the Pacific. What are you looking forward to bringing on Saturday as a judge? If you're judging, or as someone who's going to be running around like a headless chicken. What are you most excited for this Saturday?
I'm excited to see the blend of new and old gen come out. I'm excited to see the new girls that we've never seen before pop out and go, who's she? She a Marama. Or
period.
or potentially seeing those that have paved the way for us to be here, that have been the reason for us to be able to hold this, to potentially be there at the ball. So that's what I'm really excited to see.
I love. And JC, with your local knowledge of knowing what a lot of these girls train with, like, what are you excited to bring as a judge?
I mean, the last function I was here was at Unity Ball, and our girls did come out for blood for that one. And so I'm excited to see people get their look back. And I think it's important because that's part of how you push your creativity and be better at the next function. That usually wakes it up. So I'm excited to see people's look backs. And then all the girls that I know that have been working really hard on their categories, is always going to be exciting to receive their mahi, their work, their passion, their love. And then I'm kind of hoping that the mothers walk. I've heard some femme queen mothers are coming, and so let's all nudge and force them to walk, even if they didn't come to walk on that day.
Period.
Get them up.
Yes. Karamera?
Me, obviously excited to see the community come through, but I'm most excited to showcase my house. It's been 5 long years of us going through the peaks and valleys of Ballroom as much as we can possibly get through. And so this Saturday is really going to be a moment for us to revel in our excellence. And yeah, just set the standard.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Me?
You?
I'm excited to see all the walkers, all the young girls come outside and be like, who's that?
Period.
But no, I'm looking to see, yeah, all the new people, all the walkers, all the old girls. I'm excited to see everyone turn it, have fun, and actually walk and not just come to the ball, but come and walk the ball and make it fun and make it entertaining, support.
Period. Machus?
Me, I think I'm so excited for everything. Like the commentator, like the judges. I cannot wait to see everything. The Arts Grand March, the effect. The venue is so beautiful, so it's gonna be absolutely amazing. And I'm really excited. Like I'm going to like maybe a wedding or an amusement park. I cannot wait to celebrate Ballroom with everybody. That's my first time ever in New Zealand, so I'm so excited and grateful to be here.
Yes. And just, is there anything else that you want to leave with our community here in Aotearoa? Our girlies probably spamming the comments with whatever crazy things I'll be saying on them lives. Is there anything that you want to leave, to share?
I have a pressing question from Australia and New Zealand to Aotearoa. Are you looking to have Mugler in the Oceania chapter? As the Oceania chapter? Because I feel like everyone wants to be a Mugler as much as gorgeous Gucci, Balenciaga, da-da-da-da. So there's interest. So for the girls that are on the live and here live, is there something that you see here, my love?
You're going to be like that?
Because then they'll go even more harder this Saturday.
I mean, if I see something special, then I'll know. But not looking. But if there's someone special, there's someone special. Like you'll know if you find someone like, oh, bitch, she far, but we're gonna make it work. Because that 22 hours to get to New York.
All right, girls, that's your answer. Everyone work out being special. Everyone in the live is going to work on being special.
Are they coming to class tomorrow?
They should, if they want to.
Who's coming to class tomorrow? Who's registered? Perfect. And who's auditioning for Cats?
Over.
I'm auditioning for Cats, girl.
I have a really special walk, actually, I promise. I'll show you.
Can you sing? That means no.
It's an honor to get a chop from you. Everything is an honor. So would love to hand it over to our community to ask any questions. We've got 2 roving mics, so just put your hand up and ask the question. Oh, yep, we'll go over here and then we'll go back there. Thank you.
Nō reira tēnei ka mihi.
Hold up.
Tēnā koutou ngā kokona o te whare, kei runga i te aroha me te rangi mari. Tēnei ka mihi atu ki ngā manuhiri, kua tae mai ki Te Whanganui ātara, te upoko o te ika ki Aotearoa nei. Tēnei kei runga i te aroha, tēnei ka mihi. Tēnā koutou katoa. This isn't really a question. It's really just an opening statement to welcome you to our shores and to continue the work that you effortlessly yet controversially sit in spaces and continue to do. I'm probably one of the oldest people in this room that look towards the ballroom as our future, as I've become the centred generation that comes from Carmen and Georgina Bayer. And I just want to commend all of your efforts in holding the feminine space of Hine Te Iwa, who is in our culture, our feminine energy that allows us to weave and build relationships from person to person, house to house, and iwi to iwi. And so I just wanted to open firstly by commending and welcoming you all here, and thank you for bringing your knowledge and your pukenga to a new generation that sits with the support of tupuna. And I think that's the real most important thing, is for our generations to recognize and to know that we do support you, and that we are watching, and that we are listening, and that we are guiding. And so I just wanted to make it a parent as mana whenua and as a Māori, and in my identity and tuakiritanga, also as a femme queen.
Period.
To commend you on your organising and to constantly become the beating drum that sits amongst the tapa that is woven for our raranga in our shores. And so I just want to take this opportunity for those who are walking tomorrow, or who are walking and who are engaged this weekend, that please let whanganui ātara te upoko o te ika be your home, and that you leave here with a piece of something from us. And that although your hardship may be as deep as the ocean, let your triumphs and your achievements be as light as its spray. Nō reira, kei runga I te aroha me te rangi Māori e. Tēnā koutou, ka nui te aroha, tēnā tata katoa.
Kia ora. Thank you so much, Selena. Kia ora. We just got, do we have a question over here, babe? Over here in the front.
I am Nareda. I'm Black American as well. So from Texas, Nebraska. Sorry, let me get out my little notes or whatever. So what would it, like, and this is to y'all two specifically, like, what would you say is like the cultural core of ballroom? Because I think I have like obviously my connections here, and I have like big connections in China as well, and the way that they kind of like operate is quite different, and I think I get thrown by what is, because like the one thing I constantly hear is like ballroom is what it is. Like, you're not changing the rules anytime soon. Like, what is, I guess, the extent of like, what is someone else's culture and what is specifically Black and Latin that is the core structure of ballroom? Huh? Sorry, like, I guess like what is, I don't think I framed that right, so I'll move on. Hold on. So I heard from another icon not too long ago that ballroom is not a safe space, but it is a brave space. And as me and my betweens are like kind of holding, like we're uplifting the double O's here, like kind of we like take care of them, all that fun stuff. So like, I guess like, do you have any advice for kind of like what that leadership looks like in the sense of preparing these people to like take on the world while also kind of like cultivating a space that is like kind, but also like, because I'm having trouble holding that, because the only way I know how to hold that is like as a Texan, which can be like pretty aggressive at times, but in the sense of like, where does like the love and pushing and to begin?
You came prepared, bitch.
No.
I think as soon as you meet them, honestly, I think it's a growing thing. It's not just when do you begin. I think it begins even before you bring them in. It begins as you go along. I don't think there's a specific time when it's going to start. I think the grooming, because you're grooming them how to be people, you're grooming them how to be a better person. You're grooming them how to get a job, how to file their taxes, how to punch someone in the face. You're teaching them everything you know, and maybe leading them to things or other people to teach them things that you don't know. It's just about leadership and taking that person and making them a better person. So it starts immediately. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love. Our next question, we have one at the back over there. Our friend there, thank you. And when you say teaching them to punch someone in the face, have you done that yet for any of your children?
My sister.
Oh. Can I see a right hook, please? A quick one, too.
We're not going to get this on camera.
Seki, we'll have a question from our darling at the back.
Yes. Okay. So, sorry.
Why are you back there?
Yeah. I came in late.
Come a little closer, girl.
Come in.
Right in my.
We don't bite.
For context, I'm doing like some research in the Vogue and ballroom community, and I'm kind of looking into like the gender and sexuality aspects of everything. And so I wanted to ask, like, when you're performing, how do you play with or express gender and sexuality in your performances, and what does that mean for you? How does that like make you feel when you're performing?
Who was that for?
For anybody, for everybody, sure.
I mean, for me, when you're voguing, Vogue femme, the femme means feminine. So squeezing the tits, touching the cootie cat, it's all a part of it. So you have to make yourself feel like a girl in all aspects. Whatever you need to do, your bangles, your earrings, your little short skirt, you have to transform into your alter ego.
To add on to that, I saw that you'd reposted something in your story where somebody said, Vogue like you're a bottom. Like, that spoke to me so much.
What's a bottom, oi?
So in and when I teach people in class who are not ultimately feminine, I tell them to transform and start voguing like a bottom. So, and whatever that is to you, whatever makes you feel like you're about to get penetrated, and listen, you need to feel like a lady, even if you look like a man.
Oh! And she said that to my eyes.
Into your ears. No, if you want someone to understand how to feel feminine, you have to make them take them to another place. That's a place that they know gonna make them feel feminine. So think in that way. What's gonna get you to that point where you like, oh my God, I feel like a girl now, and let go.
Period.
Yeah, I think like as maybe like some butch queens have a problem of celebrating their femme in society and out loud every day, and maybe some of them are way more femme than they dress in their daily lives. And so I feel like Vogue Femme is like an outlet and to set yourself free. And I think even like we have twisters in our scene that even feel those things that we want to twist, we want to feel the femme just as much. And so I'm thinking when we're voguing femme, we're celebrating our femininity, and we're also celebrating the women's bodies. We may not have the tits or the BBL, but all this movement is inspired by the female body, and to celebrate that. And some people may not understand that, but we out here celebrating the female silhouette.
Period. Anyone else have anything to add to that?
No.
No. Squeeze your tits.
Tap the cooch.
Tap your cooch. Do we have any other questions, darlings? Oh my gosh, yes we do. And just before she gets the microphone, I just want us to give a warm welcome to Miss Legendary Miss Safa. Hello.
Legendary.
Hello, love us to see.
Hello, hello. Hi, Fano. Hi, Icon. So my question, first of all, before my question, I just want to commend you mothers of Marama for all of this openness in celebrating, the history of ballroom here in Poneke, and also to your Fano, the Maramas. Love yous down, and congratulations for all of the hard work as well. And also really quickly want to acknowledge, the legend here of the scene, the trailblazers scene. I acknowledge you. My question is for you icons. So in our scene, specifically in so-called Australia, there is a conversation of how does the conversation of black and femme queen specifically on a separate term, right? Because obviously we know that ballroom was created by black femme queens. And in a scene and in a country where we've adopted ballroom, where specifically I will say that the trailblazers are not necessarily from the black experience. We do have a black, obviously, community that's coming, but that's coming at a later stage. My question to you is, in a scene where we've adopted ballroom, to you, does black triumph femme queens, or does femme queen triumph black, or can it coexist in the same center as the priority and as, at the root? Because I feel like that's something we're trying to navigate. I don't know whether it's a tricky conversation here in Aotearoa, but it's something I think is a bit sensitive in terms of our scene in so-called Australia. So yeah, just wanted to hear on your experience and your advice to speak to that.
To me, I think it just depends on where you live. Because in a lot of European countries, there aren't a lot of black people. And there are a lot of white film queens. But I don't think you should take anything, me personally, I don't think you should take anything away from them just because of who they are. Like, people can't help where they're born into, and they come into a community. They know who started it and where it came from, but they're honoring it. So I don't think that matters. I think long as it's respected, long as it's projected, long as it's taught, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah, I feel the same. At the moment that you're a femme queen, that's your house. Like, there's no matter of color, even if you're green, blue, yellow, purple. If you're a femme queen, that ballroom is your house. So you should enjoy that because that's your house.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Awesome. We've still got time for a few more questions. We've got one over here. And we'll just round of applause our DJ Atarangi in the house. Period.
Is this on? Yeah, it is. Hi. I think the globalization of ballroom culture is really interesting, especially in kind of the contemporary music scene. You have, or even just in general, you have people like Kitty being in, films like Climax. You have modern musicians using, the crash sound effect and all of that stuff in modern music production. What excites you about kind of the globalization and the mainstream inization of ballroom, and is there anything about it that scares you? Or is there parts of it that you think should be gatekept at all? That make sense?
Yes, kind of. Am I answering it?
Open to anyone.
I mean, I think ballroom culture being immersed in like mainstream, like let's say music industry or whatever, and us having influences, I think it's fine if they work with the community. You can't just take the music and think that you can get away with that. Like, I think it's so respectful and the right way to bring those that are immersed in this culture and know this culture well to then collaborate or implement. I mean, Beyonce is a good example. She put Kevin on, but the way she put Kevin on, she put Kevin even on the screen in her film. And I think you can't take from ballroom community without giving them anything. We're a community that's striving to constantly have resources. You can't just take our ideas and throw it in mainstream society and give nothing back. And so I think if it's okay if you're genuine, spend some time with the community at least, or commission the girls. You're not stealing some of this community work and getting it for free. I think those are the ways that I feel like a collaboration or our work being inspired is necessary and important. There's ways like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Marcus, did you have anything to add to that?
She ate that.
You ate that.
No, I mean, I agree. I totally agree. I think, because for me, like even when we were doing cast when we were off Broadway, they were very adamant about making sure we had film queens in the cast. We had to have a non-binary cast. They even had free seats for the community. They had people coming in just to do background work. The cast had to watch videos of ballroom before they even learned a line. They had them doing ballroom boot camp. So yeah.
Awesome. 2 more questions. One in the front over here, darling. Thank you so much.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
My question is for the 2 icons, specifically yourself, Arturo. You had mentioned during the panel that one of your no's was that social media has perhaps diluted the element of surprise with ballroom scene. And for yourself, someone who has been involved in ballroom since the 90s, what are some things about the scene that have changed, perhaps for better or for worse?
Yeah. She was write the list. Get the list, girl.
That's a broad question. I I mean, of course, it has gotten better in terms of visibility. One, if it didn't, we wouldn't be here. So visibility, one, because of visibility, the jobs we were able to get. A lot of people were only able to, especially trans women, they only thought they can do, sex work. But visibility has put them in places that they never thought they could even achieve of doing and being because of visibility, which also is a negative thing because you can't be stealth because of visibility. You can't be DL because of visibility. Sometimes people won't even date you because you're in ballroom, just because they hear of the things that happens in ballroom. Not that they know about it, just of the things that they hear, how it is. There's tons and tons of good things. The prize has gotten bigger since the 90s. There's a lot more competition. There's a lot more categories, so a lot more people can see themselves and different avenues and compete. There's so much. We got to have a conversation off the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Machus, did you anything to add to that?
About the social media part?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you need to use social media in the best way, because sometimes I can understand people are mad about something and they need everybody to know that they're mad about this. But sometimes you really need to think about posting things. Sometimes people using like social media to bully somebody else, whatever. This is, to me, it's late. Or going to on live or on Bigo saying like, this is, no, Mr. Mama. Any coins, that's stupid. So yeah, you need to use like social media in the best way, or do a private story or another account, then you can say shit about it.
Yeah. And we'll have one more question. Is that one hand back there? Thank you, darling.
Hi.
Hi, darling.
Oh, hi. I'm asking from the perspective of a journalist rather than a queen. When someone comes into the space to exist as a fly on the wall and just observe and see and then tell the story, I guess, how do you avoid a faux pas? How do you tell the story in good faith? And what is, I guess, your concerns when someone else tells your story? For anyone?
I think let the community lead the story and you to transcribe it and to write it in an eloquent way. I think to allow the community that you're writing about to see it before it is uploaded, to approve what's been written. Just some like random notes that I can think of.
Yeah, I think, like involving the community is a huge thing. There are a lot of people that write about the community but have no connection, relationship, or anything directly from the community. So I think involving them in that way and ensuring that it's an authentic sort of story and not just something that you've cultivated just because of what you're just seeing right then and there, whether you're new or not. I think highlighting the community, ensuring that they're involved, that it's for the community.
Anything else to add, my darlings?
Anything else, my loves?
Awesome. Well, I would like our DJs to just play a song. Could we just hear a song, please? Can we get and turn it up? What song do we have on the track list? Period, turn it up. Okay, everyone, let's give it up for our panel. Rome, JC, Karanera, and our icons, Arturo, Machus. And now I will walk. Thank you, DJ. I just really want to, acknowledge you all and what it's meant to have you travel from, every corner of the earth to be here. It's such a privilege to have you here. And such a privilege to have you walk down from Dixon, just 2 minutes down the road. And also wanted to acknowledge Selena, our darling Miss Safa'a, Miss Ella, and our DJ Atarangi, and our double O's who have come out and who also have been training, and also Te Whare Marama. So thank you, DJ. We'll chop it there. Give you a chop back.
Beautiful.
Thank you. So on behalf of Te Whare Marama, we just want to say thank you so much for your time, your knowledge, your alofa. And we just have a little gift here. And for those that know the bese, join along. Wa wha'awhetai, wa wha'awhetai, wa mali e mata e wa'ai. Watasi lava oi, watasi lava oi, ilo une fa moe moe. Hey, hey! Now, Achiro, that was my audition for the Cats! Good! Awesome. One more round of applause, darling, for our panelists.
Thank you, baby.
And just before I hand it back to Rachel, just a reminder, if you haven't registered, register. If you don't have a ticket, too bad. Thank you.
One more big round of applause for our panel. Before I close us with karakia, I would just like to say on behalf of Te Papa that we are so privileged to be able to welcome the ballroom community into our whare. We're really honoured that we're able to play a small part in telling your stories, and that we're able to give a platform to the community so that you can show your stories, your histories, and what you do best. And we're so grateful that the House of Marama has put your trust and your faith in us. So yeah, we're so excited for the weekend. Just because the panel was so amazing, one final big round of applause. Kia tau ngā manaakitanga, ki runga i a tātou, kua otipai, ngā mahi, ngā kōrero, ngā wānanga. Kua ia tēnei hui, homie huie tai.
Thank you, DJ. Play the music. Thank you all.
Can we take a photo?
Yeah, let's get a photo.